His next most played nerfed in the last few months or so, or the most recent patches. Elise now away from Trashy there. On the H2k side, they got to make their choices. Gragas top lane still up. The Lulu as well, another high priority pick if they want it, but just got to see what they believe to be the strongest right now.
So right now, there's a lot of junglers that haven't been picked up, but the top 3 have been banned, and Narcus's #1 is also banned away. So Jarvan's still on the table. We saw Trashy's Jarvan previously where he would just flash over the wall, EQ somebody underneath a turret at level 3 very, very quickly, very smoothly. Vi is still available too, but they are going to go with the dang Kog'Maw.
Well, with Vi still available, but that's actually the really interesting thing then, because you talk about Vi being available, and when you fight a champion like Kog'Maw, you want some hard engage. I actually prefer Vi much more to Jarvan in this kind of case, because Vi actually contributes damage threat, where I feel like Jarvan doesn't really. And so, you know, if you go for like a Morgana Vi pickup right here, you get to kind of create all this pressure on the Kog'Maw, make it really hard to peel away. Right now, though, we'll see what H2k Call Nash actually goes for. They're just hovering on random stuff for now.
Yeah, but the Kog'Maw very prioritized in Korea, pick ban pretty much 100%, very close to it, and it's kind of making its way into NA and EU. We do like to copy what the Koreans do.
Sure.
Nobody's hiding that. It's like, oh, they must have the right idea of what we're supposed to be picking. Gragas saw it a lot today from Korea, just imported that on over. Yeah. But the Kog'Maw, just so much pressure, so much damage, and a lot of it's magic-based too. And the fact that he will crit you with physical damage at the same time.
Oh, sure. So he's a painful guy.
Damage threats.
He is a painful guy to deal with. Honestly, if you can keep Kog alive, Kog is, I think, pretty much the best.
And even if you kill him.
Yeah, even if you kill him, he still has some true damage. The guy is a bit scary. I do like H2k Call Nash grabbing the Morgana early, and then also the Lulu for the arguably top lane here. Because again, it locks out the counter pick on Vi. I'm kind of telling on that one. I know it's not super likely, but it is a Narcus champion pool. And again, it works against Kog'Maw here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that get picked up later on. Yeah. Trash right now looking at Jarvan. And of course, this team could put together a bit of a knock-up comp to help Febiven's Yasuo here. Yeah. Of course, with... Actually, yeah, Nami's on the table as well as like another support pick. So this could very well be a team that sets up Yasuo.
Yeah, I think what they want to do is twofold. They want to take the Yasuo away so it's not combined with the Lulu. Also, at the same time, if you do lock in this Jarvan, you do a really good job of setting up a defensive line for Kog'Maw. You're going to be going into them. Kog'Maw's going to be staying in the back line doing damage. You can Cataclysm, and that forces people to flash out or take Kog'Maw damage. Sure. If they flash towards the Kog'Maw, you can keep the Cataclysm up, and they're kind of separated from their team. So that passable terrain is very handy, and the fact that you put a Nami on top of it, you're going to be able to send your tidal wave straight through.
Oh, absolutely. I actually love engage like champions with like these like super backline AD carriers, because yes, they can peel for you for a while, but also if you engage them and lock them down, it's just as good, arguably better. So I actually really do like H2k's lineup so far. I still do expect Yasuo to come in by the end here, but he's going to make sure like the matchup's not too bad. I feel like Call Nash would not be well served grabbing it themselves. And instead, they're going to look around at stronger lanes right here. Caitlyn's going to help cover the fact that Nami does great against Morgana in lane, and Ziggs is a good blind pick mid laner. Yeah,
they're just going to go ahead and pick that one up for themselves. He did take a hit to movement speed and bomb explosion radius on his Q.
Like activation radius. Yeah. The damage is the same size. It's
the detection.
Detection, yeah. It's do you hit something with to cause the explosion?
Yeah. Just 5 movement speed off of him. Not a huge deal, but he has taken multiple nerfs in the past. We've seen the range nerf, we've seen the damage to minions nerf, but he's still a top pick priority, like A-tier mid lane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a reason people pick him all the time. Yeah. He's pretty safe. I guess if you guys heard the sounds of the game or the all chat from the preview show, Dignitas was like, oh my, QT was like, are you sure you want to pick Ziggs here? It's a really unsafe lane. I mean, it's a really rough early game for the guy, just like trolling everybody. But yeah, Ziggs is a great champion. H2k once again going to hover over the rest of their champions. 20 seconds to go until they have to make their lock-ins.
That's like the worst QT impression too.
I'm a bad QT.
I imagined him just being more like, you sure you want to take that?
Yeah, that's more likely. There's like a little. Well, he's more energetic than that though.
Oh yeah.
Right, you don't go to Dyrus level of mellow.
You want that laner?
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a very Okay.
It's fairly sincere, but you know he's kidding. You know, he's got the overtones of humor inside it. And actually, the Mundo top lane coming through. We're going old school in this one.
We saw Mundo today.
Yeah.
In the top lane.
Mimer played it. Not to great effect.
Yeah. Although right now in top lane, it's all about, can you get the Gragas in there? Can you get the Mundo in there? A lot of people going back to those beefy top laners that just provide peel for the team. Since Kale took a nerf and Lulu, people are kind of finding counters to that right now.
They might just be.
Gragas does really well against Lulu, but Lulu is still top-tier top laner.
Yeah, she's pretty great overall. And we got to see what H2k Call Nash, though, goes for this one. I don't super expect the Master Yi. They're hovering it, I think, as a troll. So for what it's worth, it is a Narcsis champion pool. He does play the champion. I just don't feel like it fits that well in this team. I think it's really tough to play Yi up against a Jarvan. I do like Cog. And actually, here's what not Cog. This is what I love about this, and I should have thought of it sooner. Lulu Morgana is so good with Skarner. You have the haste from the Whimsy and the Black Shield to prevent the peel. That makes way more sense than Vi, and I'm sad for not thinking of it earlier.
We talked about Skarner taking a little bit of a nerf.
Don't care.
It's not huge because he is a CC bot, and against somebody like Kog'Maw, you just want to go ahead and kidnap him.
Yep.
Pick him up and just roll him back into the team, drag him back. Same thing though is Trashy can kind of stop that.
Yeah, true.
And Skarner won't have anything to do with that, so there's a whole lot of situational positioning here that you can't really theory craft too much.
Counterplay here.
In champion selects, you have to watch how the game unfolds.
Because you don't have these easy 1700s line up in front of the battle lines and go walk at each other sort of battles. It's all about positioning and weird
flanks, what summoner spells are available.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so it's going to be a really interesting battle to see how this one does play out. You do have a couple of knockups here for H2k. Jarvan and Nami can both set up Fabibin's Yasuo here. Of course, he can do it himself as well, but otherwise, GG Call Nash have the ability to kidnap a Yasuo or kidnap a Kog'Maw and just break him down and remove one of the 2 damage threats that H2k has.
But they're both really big damage threats, and at the same time, they're both, innately physical damage, but Kog'Maw does a lot of magic damage that people underestimate.
Yeah, and you can't completely discount what Dr. Mundo can pull to his team.
True.
There is actually a fair bit of, I guess, repeated threat. It's not quite the right term I want, but he's
sustained?
Yeah, sustained threat is a pretty good term for it. He's like this cloud of damage where it's just you are going to lose health if you're nearby to the guy. He's going to throw cleavers at you. And Caitlyn is not well equipped to kill him either. Caitlyn is one of the, I would say, worse sustained damage champions. Her damage is high because she's safe, but most AD carries are safe against Mundo. They don't have to kite back the entire time. You have really high uptime against Mundo. So it's all about how much damage can Lickety put out and how safe are Hjarnan and Fabivin going to be.
All right, and if you guys are just tuning in, it is a best of 3.
Yes.
That is something to keep in mind. Round of 8 points are definitely involved here. And H2k lost previously in the round of 8. And now, GG Call Nash, they lost in round 10. They're further than they've ever been before. So maybe they're on an uphill swing. But everybody just defensive line, level 1. They don't want to give up that extra goal.
You know what I'm sad about? Is they're not lining up as their portraits. These supports went near the middle and the AD carries went to the bottom. They are messing with the lines a little bit, but God's going to put the trinket down. He will watch top lane invades. But you talked about the progression of teams throughout the bracket. Basically, the way it tends to work, top 3 almost always puts you in the postseason. With very few exceptions, that's going to work out for you. H2k, as we mentioned, did win Summer Series 1. They are almost definitely going to make playoffs. They are not necessarily guaranteed a first-round bye, and that is important because then you're almost guaranteed to be in the promo tournament at that point. Whereas GG Call Nash, they absolutely must win this game outside of a bunch of teams forfeiting. They have to win this match to make it to the postseason, to play in the promo tournament and have a chance at that.
And H2k, they really want to get that first round bye. They want to make the promo tournament again. Last time they got 3-0'd by the Super Hot crew. And since they've changed their roster. They now have Trashy in the jungle, and they now have AOD on support. Odwamna, Fabevin, and Hjarnan have all stayed the same and just tried to rebuild around the core and continue pushing on. And I love to see that when you don't succeed in the Challenger Series because you didn't end up winning your promotion matches. Just go back, do it again. Make sure that you can continue chasing your success and take it into your own hands. And even if it requires replacing some members or some people don't want to do it anymore, just keep going through. Yeah, and I love that they're sticking with it.
I do too, and it's the same with a team we're going to see tomorrow as well, Ninjas in Pajamas, Alex Itch's team. They've actually announced their own roster swaps recently. I do love the teams that stick around and keep going for it. GG Call Nash, right? They failed in Summer 1. They're keeping going for this one as well. So we'll see as they continue to rededicate themselves who gets the progress here. Just watching early game lane matchups. Not too much happening. Standard lanes as well. Just kidding, not standard lanes. We did have a lane swap. Forgot to call that one out properly. And we'll see where the junglers end up and who makes the early moves.
Yeah, lane swaps are something we haven't seen for a little while here, especially because the increased gold on Dragon and the fact that H2k went for it because they wanted to have the safe lane for Kog'Maw, so he'll scale into the late game. That's the biggest thing here, because Caitlyn, big range advantage over Kog'Maw. Not a lot of people know this, but his range is actually 500 when he doesn't have Bioarcane Barrage up. And same as Sivir.
And Sivir is a pretty bad lane
yes.
against Caitlyn. So definitely keep in mind, Febivin still just pushing up against Vince, although he's not really winning in minions right now, so he's just putting some damage down, making him chuck potions.
Yeah.
That is true. That is actually a pretty big deal, though, is if you can push him out of lane entirely, it's a good place to be. Level 3 so far in these lanes, and we have the very different, actually, game plans here. So Call Nash are actually pushing heavily in the bottom lane. They're going to take this turret down pretty soon, as well as group up for this dragon right here, so they're going to get that gold off of the lane swap. However, H2k have rotated their mid laner and top laner to maybe they can pressure top lane and maybe even contest dragon.
It's a 3.5-minute dragon here. You have to delay it a little bit because they were going to take some damage from this dragon. And there it is. There's the ward. And then makes
look at that. Great play by H2k. Once they saw the AD carry leave lane, they said, okay, let's check this one out. Again, the movement of the support to get around on this side of the map, really great stuff.
But the biggest thing here is that Jarden has just been solo farming the entire time, and he's not going to fast push this either, because that's not what Kog'Maw wants. Caitlyn wants to fast push, Kog'Maw doesn't. Kog'Maw wants to sit there and get as much farm as he possibly can.
Well, first smite fight just went to Narcus right there, grabs that one away. Trashy did not manage to get that one with his own smite, so there we go. But the knockup comes in, the bubble onto one. Narcus, Smite's not going to save in this one. First blood goes through to Dr. Mundo from Odwamna. And now Vince forced to run away. Looks like he'll stay alive, but H2k starting off nicely.
He's level 2 fights, that's full value first blood after the 4 minutes. Everybody getting a little bit of a piece of that one, except for Kog'Maw. Still farming up top. Still having a great time.
I'd take 28 CS, though. I'm okay with that one. Looks like the recalls, the movements come in. Call Nash going to send Gob top lane. Couple levels down, though, so good luck with the matchup.
Yeah, especially against this level 4 Kog'Maw. Squeeze is going to try to make something happen here on Bevan. He'll go after Vince instead. See if he can do it.
Black Shield goes in, literally has no effect against this one. Nice flash Q comes in. Bivin is going to block everything out, and now Squeeze forced to run away. Beautiful play right there with the kill.
Former Cloud9 Eclipse member coming up huge right now in the mid lane. Ended up getting a part of that assist and the solo kill in a 2-on-1.
Yep. That's just awesome play. We mentioned the wards all, or the potions all getting removed earlier on, and that's the case. Narcus does grab a Quill Cloak here, so he's going for the new Ancient Golem build on Skarner. We've seen the Lizard before, but not this time for him. Vince is going to go more armor-based with an early tier, likely to follow up with an Arm Guard next.
So looking for a gank in the top lane here. Trashy, he's a forcer. We've always known him as one, even back when he was on Reason Gaming. See what he can do here.
Well, it's going to be a little bit of damage going on. So he's got a nice flash to keep himself safe. Trashy went for the knock-up and forces Summoner out. Good play.
Yep. That's all he'll do on Jarvan is force your flash, and then he'll stick around as long as he can and try to deny you a little bit of farm. And then other times he'll be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and gank you again and again and again.
Yeah, we'll see if Gob sticks around. He's right about in the EQ range. He's flash hitting with Qs, but the lane will not freeze, so Gob can wait under his turret for this.
He's going to wait for the Bioarcane Barrage cooldown if he has communication with Yarnan.
Can they die this, actually? They maybe have enough durability. The turrets are stronger in 411.
That's true.
Looks like they're waiting for a counter gank.
But I wouldn't put it past Trashy.
Oh, yeah, he is an aggressive player.
He's such an aggressive player in the Challenger Series. Reminds me a lot of Co.
Yep.
Former teammates here for H2k.
Right.
Nope, he's just going to give the attack speed.
There we go. Gob forced one away. Here comes Odwamna in the bottom lane, though. Licky D doing what he can to keep the damage down. Odwamna fairly low, but there's Febivin. Good damage comes out. Wind wall just in case Squeeze is going for something there. One more kill to the knockups. Can they get this one? The flash, the auto attack, they get it.
He takes
Double
it.
knockup and the ulti comes in. I think he's... Wow. Well, 2 goes under the turret. Nicely played.
But Bevan, he's got to get by this minefield now. He can push up the wave.
He's 2 levels above Vince right now.
Yeah, Vince, no ultimate available. Vince just needs a tiny bit of experience until he's able to use it, but...
Doesn't have a source of any experience or gold right now.
Right now.
Though, still, yeah, trying to get around. Oh, that's not what you wanted. That's, all right, well, I mean, he'll probably survive this, but...
He's clearing the waves so that he's able to get by the turret.
All right, there we go. Odwamna finally pushed it up for him. And they're going to stay safe.
It was a project and a half.
Seriously. Took some effort, but hey, teamwork happened right there. And now H2k already up 2,000 gold before 8 minutes in. What a great start.
Yeah, but another big thing here is Gob, 11 CS in that top lane to the 37 of Odwamna. Odwamna was part of that first blood. He actually got it for himself, and he got the double buffs off him, so we had a really good time in the bottom lane alongside the assistance and the double kill there in the bottom that went over to H2k. So right now, H2k are in a very good position. Only 8 minutes in the game.
These guys are looking very, very strong right now. This is the team that had the fastest average win time in Summer 1, and you're seeing just why. Aggressive players, they make a lot of great choices. Liquidy does manage to get the solo gold on that turret. Squeeze puts a ward down saying, I see you, Jarvan, so Trashy can't force anything here, but honestly, this is going to be hard for Call Nash to do much here. They have taken down a turret, so that's good for them, that dual lane in the bot lane, but they're still down pretty heavily.
And you talked about how different it is between team play and solo queue play. Back when we were talking about H2k being all very individually skilled players in the time that they've had to mesh as a team. It's vastly different. 8 minutes in, you're already seeing turrets go down, and you're seeing 4 kills on the board, as well as a dragon trying to be contested. If you're playing a solo queue game, 9 minutes in, you're like, I hope I have 70 farm.
Yeah.
I hope I've been farming well this entire game.
The 8 kills are normal. And I think those just happen.
I think another big thing here, too, is H2k did the lane swap to really test Call Nash's teamwork. Can you play and make the right map movements versus a team that's trying to play the map over you? And they're trying to play it from the left side. We do see the tidal wave is not even leveled up because it's not 6 yet, but they're going to go for this anyway.
The attempt on Squeeze, who does not have anywhere to go in this one. Bubble's going to land out at 2. Nice job towards the back line. Peppervin not going to follow up just yet, but they're going to keep on pushing forward. The Kidnap not going to do much for them either. Leaky D goes down as well. Trashy going to help claim the kill on another one, and 3 champions go down. H2k playing perfect.
Doing a really good job here. They end up going 3 for 0, and in the meantime, Garnet still farming up top, waiting for that late game threat. This is just looking very grim for GG Call Nash.
They don't even need him is the real thing. There goes the mid lane turret as well. The rest of the team is playing perfectly. Jarnet's going to keep his KDA like where it's at. Yeah. He's just insurance policy. He doesn't even need it though.
So like Yasuo took a tiny bit of a nerf to his E stacking. Yeah, it only goes up to 50% over 2.
Uh-oh. He's safe.
50% over 2 instead of 100%. So people aren't maxing it as much. Some mid laners
some
maxed
did,
it.
some
didn't. But Bevan perfectly fine maxing the Q because he's getting all of those knockups off.
Yeah, he's playing honestly beautifully. Static shift nearly done for the man as well. Watch that fight again.
Yeah. Still level 4 on AOD Trash. He's going to use the Cataclysm on Squeeze here. And Bevan comes in on side. Granted, his knockup does end up getting Black Shielded, but he ends up getting another Q off before he gets impaled, and now he has another knockup available. And they kill Vince off of it and just completely crush that fight with a great collapse from the side. And we talked about it in Champions League. There's so many factors. People aren't just lining up against each other. You're going to get flanked. People are going to have some summoner spells up, some aren't. Squeeze, no flash to get out. And then they end up picking up all these kills off the back of just great strategy.
And you are seeing GG Call Nash try, right? Like that mid lane push was like, not them playing the laning phase, it's them saying, hey, you know, I think we can push mid now. I think we got the numbers lead. Problem is, you don't have enough wards. You see engagers come in from the side, and suddenly it's too late. Squeeze had nowhere to go. Pike out started beautifully, but even chased people down. And now Dragon number 1 is going to be started out pretty easily and cleanly there. Looks like no one's going to stop them in this one. H2k going to keep pushing forward. Now 5,000 gold ahead, 11 minutes in.
Yep. For Bevan, 100% kill participation as the mid laner. Every time a fight goes down, he's involved in it. And that's a big thing in a lane swap. Because your mid lane is the only lane that's going even. If you can win that lane, and we saw him 2v1 and get a kill, you can go ahead and transition that onto the side lanes. We haven't seen the AD carry of H2k been involved in anything. But Bevan's been snowballing everything by himself. 0-0-0 for Hjarnan. He's
That's
just
okay.
farming.
Hey man, if you have the highest minion score, which he doesn't, but if you did, it would mean you're MVP. Kills plus deaths plus assists plus CS is my score for how good you are.
Okay.
Yep. It's science. Trust me on this one.
Not going to.
Okay.
But
also, number of characters in name also counts for score. But the knock is going to go into Lickety, and there comes the Bivin. Uh-oh. Yeah, goodbye. At this point, it's just if they show up, someone falls over. This is a very, very large advantage. The knockup not quite going to land in a combo. Oh! The Kidnap! And the Cataclysm, not what he wanted on this one at all. Uh-oh, Narcus very close to dead, and yes, he does go down. I've never seen that before.
That was awesome!
That was absolutely awesome. Trashy goes back in on the Gob, though. Here comes, will Kog'Maw get, nope,
so
no
close.
KDA.
Oh, Vince is off on the side. He doesn't have his ultimate anymore, but he does have flash. But Hjarnan is so strong right now.
All right, Hjarnan going for the first point on the scoreboard. Misses the Q. Cleaver's is going to land, jumps over the wall.
Ooh.
And Vince is going to keep Hjarnan at 0-0-0.
Wow.
That was great.
That was amazing. Jarvan was my main for a very long time, but I've never seen that.
Never gotten ulted mid-ult by Skarner?
No, I've seen like Jace's jump up and get ultied and then just be in a backflip or a front flip. But right here, he uses Cataclysm and he gets impaled. Huh! Oh,
he's like ready for it.
He finishes it. Is the best part. Boom! There it is. He gets it afterwards.
They actually Cataclysm himself in turret range. He had to flash out of that one.
Yeah, he just got to the edge and flashed out. Granted, Odwamna was fine, but I think if Narcus knew that was going to happen, he would have pulled him even further back into the turret range.
Arguably, yeah. Well,
learning new things in Challenger. That's why you keep tuning in.
New game mechanics, man. It's fun. I also like that their champion pools are a bit different. There's not enough Skarner mains in the world.
Yeah.
Skarner's fun. I like that champion.
It's a lot of fun. I remember when you could impale somebody, and if they flashed, it would still drag them all the way back to you.
Yeah, I'm glad that doesn't happen anymore. Oh, that felt horrible.
It did feel horrible. But if you were playing Skarner, it felt amazing.
Of course it did.
You're just like, oh, knew that was going to happen.
Remember when Cataclysm chased Flash? You'd flash and you'd be like, just kidding, we're over here 500 units away.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad that's gone too.
Trashy. He's trying to contest the blue. That's not gone just yet. It's a 4-man team. And look at that.
Hey man, Narcus won the first Smite fight this game.
Call Nash, they're all lined up for a knockup.
Good Black Shield, that saved his life. But there we go. Nicely picked up there. Looks like Trashy claimed that for the team. And off they go with the spoils of war. 14.5 minutes in, and it's a 7.6 thousand gold lead. I mean, H2k right now playing so well. Squeeze going to get jumped on as well. He's not going to like his fate here. Flashes away, but Kog'Maw!
Oh, looking for the score.
On the scoreboard. Nicely played, Charnan.
Well done there. He only got 225 gold for it, though. It's 3 deaths for Squeeze so far.
Yep. Pretty unfortunate start here for GG Call Nash. And, I mean, it all really did. It started off with a really good jungle invade down by the Wolf camp a bit earlier on. Call Nash kind of stayed in the fight a bit too long, and they lost a lot of members fighting for basically Wolves by blue buff. And life got painful from there.
Yeah, they went for the early dragon, took a decent amount of damage from it, then they got chased all the way through their jungle. They were at an advantage in terms of numbers, but they just didn't coordinate as well as H2k did. And it was only like a level 2 Jarvan who had the EQ combo, but he used it perfectly to get Narcus for the first blood and transfer the double buffs and the gold over to Odwamna, who had a better time in that bottom lane 2v1.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they managed to play around the lane so incredibly well. And just the fact that we haven't really seen Gob able to do anything yet. He's just been kind of held down, farming what he can, but can only do so much. Go Windwall blocking up most of Ziggs' ordnance, and that's going to be a turret picked up nicely done by Forbidden. And out he goes. Just really very interestingly safe moves. Woo. Narcus can get a slowdown here. Flashes. Oh, kidnaps him. Here we go. Can they get the damage? Minefield's down. Vivian's going to get ulted as well by Caitlyn. Couple hits from Dead. Flashes not going to matter. Shutdown goes over to Narcus, and CN's on the scoreboard.
They also get the teleport out of Odwamna. So he doesn't actually follow it through, so it's on cooldown right now, and GOB does have his. The next time that the Dragon comes around, they'll have that available. We'll see what they can do with it, because this is a tiny, tiny advantage here for Call Nash, but it's not going to make up for that 9k gold difference. Not
just yet, but maybe you claw your way back in. It is definitely a very large lead right now for H2k. Don't mistake that one too much, but Call Nash will try to put themselves on the scoreboard, jump over the wall. They might get a play over here on Gob. Looks like there's not a lot of great workers. Will actually Squeeze. Gonna get spotted out putting a ward down. Can they follow up in this one? Cataclysm not quite gonna hit in time. Looks like the Teto is gonna come by, gonna knock up one. Squeeze is slowed. Not gonna find much more. Trash eats a cupcake. And back they go.
Delicioso. And he's done. But at the same time, we go ahead and look at the items of the mid laners here. There's 2 half-completed, not even half-completed, just barely completed items. They're the cheaper parts of the components on Vince. Then you look over at Bevan, he's got 2 completed items.
Oh my gosh.
That are actually decently expensive.
Oh yeah. He's gigantic.
He's pretty big right now, and he's only getting bigger. The gold difference between them is, I think, the largest gold difference in the game right now. Maybe no, actually, I would go ahead and say that. Because Odwamna, he has a little bit more than GOB in terms of farm and kills, but nothing like Forbidden right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Forbidden went for Berserker's Greaves, actually. Because by this point, your Q is actually already capped on cast time. Once you have Ruin King and Static Shiv, you're at the 1.33. So
he'll get a little bit
his
more.
Basic attacks are faster.
Yeah.
But like, as far as, and I mean, to be fair, it's relevant. Like, auto attacks matter a whole heck of a lot on someone like Yasuo.
You'll get more crits, you'll get more play with King synergy.
Yeah, sure. And that is relevant. But when you're facing like a Lulu and Morgana, I'm surprised you don't go Merc Treads.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's definitely one of those things where you have to contemplate it and be like, do I just want to attack them and just bash them? Or do I, no, bash them.
Nope, just going to bash them a little bit more. Move my sword a bit faster. That's fine. It's the choice after all. And life's about choices. Yeah. Got to make the right ones.
He's going to go ahead and try to use the wind wall on every dark binding if he can. He hasn't really been hit by one just yet, but look at that. The
double his gold.
8.5k gold to 4.8.
Oh man, that is rough. Life is not easy right now for Vince, but maybe he can get himself back into this game. GG Call Nash have not lost turrets in some time, but the recent Dragon, of course, did go through to H2k.
Even if they pick off the Bevan, the 4v5 would still be really rough at 10k gold advantage under 20 minutes now for H2k. It's looking very, very grim for them. Call Nash, they might stick to their average game time of 23 minutes, but they'll be on the losing end.
It might just be. There's the Dark Bind is going to hit up onto Jarvan, who did smite away the red buff, so more stuff's getting controlled. Bottom lane split push stopped by a Ziggs ulti. I want to see how H2k does push through. I know, thinking back to the spring series when they were Cloud and Eclipse, they tend to be pretty good at closing games out. I remember thinking about that. Kidnap attempt, not quite going to happen. Narcus forced back in this one. Won't catch Yarn just yet. That's one thing to keep in mind is H2k have to be very, very afraid of how Morgana... Oh, good Black Shield again. Narcus going to look again for an attempt here. Think he's going to stay safe.
The Bevan off on the right side. They know that he's there, though. They saw him with that ward over the wall. Just barely.
All right, so what is their way in? Not a lot of siege pressure. It's 3 melee champions. They need to carry and support. Duamna splitting up in the top lane, but he's not making that much headway.
They're not splitting right here for Call Nash. They're sending too many people top. They're going to lose bottom in Hib turret.
They just might. Here we go. Duamna's going to run back, pops the ulti, gets away. And now the pressure goes on to the rest of the map there. Looks like it's right now just Fabivin pushing down, but Hjarnan really wants pressure on mid-tier 2. Hjarnan's about to reach the turret himself. Got to be careful of Skarner on the left-hand side. Muna coming down to flank that one. Fabivin actually can't push in time. Vince just clears the wave away.
Yeah, they pulled off just in time and had the wave clear in the right spot. Still splitting the jungle here for Call Nash. H2k, they're putting themselves in the right position, off on the side. Look at that. If he gets the knockup, Yasuo's on the side.
He's going to go for a catches Leakity as well, but now Squeeze is the one blocked. Has to flash away as well. Fabivin gets out of this one. Narcus has already blown his ultimate and didn't get a kill for it. Now these guys own the mid-tier 2 turret. Trashy forced one away for now. EQ comes out just in time. He actually queued it up as he turned into a cupcake.
Fine squirrels.
That is how it works. And there we go, the slow coming in. Gob going to knock the ulti up on that one. Duamna going to put a cleaver down. And they stay safe, but mid-tier 2 has fallen. And look at top tier 2 now.
Yep, going to go ahead and rotate right around. They got a lot of the ultimates out. And Fabivin still has his as well as AOD, so they have that combo still available if they line up. Duamna trying to split the lane.
Can they find this? Not going to go past the turret, won't quite find anybody, but looks like the threat is just too high. GG Call Nash forced pretty far away on this one. Next mini wave could be the turret going down, but Ziggs already wave cleared it.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and move mid now and try to clear that out and keep constant pressure on these lanes. Keep them up, make sure they can't wave clear. Wave clear one lane at a time. Granted, Vince, as Ziggs, he can kind of clear two, and that's why they're hanging on into this game.
So now let's see what else these guys can get. Because, yes, Call Nash are holding on, and there's an Infinity Edge now for the Caitlyn. She's going to keep powering up. Ziggs, of course, such a great defender overall. And if H2k can't make their way in, I mean, we've seen teams lose games by being unable to finish them. At some point, your opponents will catch up to you. Blue buff goes over to Hjarnan. 67 gold. And a blue buff means plenty of wave clear for him, plenty of spells coming out. And we stay at 11,000 gold, but this number has not really moved much in the past, like, 5 minutes or so, really.
Yeah. And there's nobody really hugely tanky on Call Nash just yet. It looks like a Frozen Heart might be what Narcus is going to go for, try to slow down the attack speed of Fabivin and Hjarnan. Could also be an Iceborne Gauntlet, we'll have to see. But nobody's really tanky or has a lot of HP to try and shred through. And even on that note, Duamna, 2 items right now. Has another Giant's Belt, just backed. He just got the Giant's Belt for himself, and now he's up in that top lane. But then you look at Trashy, he's all damage. He's looking to just blow people up with the Hexdrinker, which I haven't actually seen a lot of lately. Most junglers are going to go for tanky item second instead of a second offensive item, but that's totally Trashy's style.
Yeah, he is an aggressive playmaker. Problem is, turret diving is really all that H2k needs right now. They've got plenty of damage from Hjarnan and Fabivin, but that's the play all the same. They move up towards this top lane. Gob's got to be a little bit careful. But now top tier 2 under fire, and Gob is alone, but the team is coming up. Hjarnan's far away, actually. Looks like, Fabivin's far away right now. Narcus looks for his pick attempt. Bubble's going to turn him back. Nice job there by AOD. Call Nash are doing a very good job of going back to their turrets and defending them over and over and over again.
Looks like Bevan's actually going to split mid right now, see what type of pressure he can make. That's going to tell Call Nash he might have to fight right now. Well, they don't have him in the fight. But look at that, Odwamne barely takes anything right now. Damage-wise, it's just a big wall for Soaking.
Oh! That was close. Ziggs goes into the mid lane. Trashy can't take this for long, and look at that. Ziggs continues to keep their team safe, but the bottom lane now getting hit pretty decently. Vivian getting some damage down. 1/3 health removed so far. Dragon's up in 15 seconds as well. H2k can keep claiming the jungle over and over. And in fact, at this point, they can set up Baron pretty cleanly as well. They're going to have 2 Blade of the Ruin Kings done by the time Kjarnan goes back to base to buy.
I'm surprised Bevan didn't use Wind Wall there to stop the Ziggs bomb from clearing the wave.
Yeah. True.
Could have stuck on it a little bit longer, but at the same time, they're in just such a great position to force these fights.
I think you also need to respect Dark Binding just a little bit to not get picked off.
Yeah.
Eventually, just on this way, they can go for it anyway. There comes Narcus in. He's going to go ahead and kidnap AOD. That is a Nami all the way in the back lines. Puts the ulti down, but she has died. Will they stay for the turret? Kjarnan is going to. And that inhibitor now is open, gets away from the Dark Binding, but now, will they fight the 4v5? Vivian goes for the knockup, gets a whole bunch of them, and takes down Morgana. The fight will continue. Narcus caught up as well. 2 kills picked up so far. Great fight, H2k.
Just doing so much damage in that fight, just blowing them up. Regardless of not having AOD, they still set up the right fight with the flash from Bevan. They get the first inhibitor of the game. They've cracked the base. It's pretty much easy sailing here, considering they're 12k up 24 minutes into the game.
And that is the right inhibitor to take down as well. Odwamne still does have his summoner teleport on this one. Kjarnan just healed, by the way. Doesn't need the summoner spell. Just to be sure, you know, why not? But 25 minutes in, Dragon, of course, has been back up. They get that one cleanly.
Great flash E there from Bevan. He ends up getting 2 people in his ultimate, killing Narcus on the back end, and then getting the first inhibitor of the game. Really great play there by H2k, and I like how they stayed to take out the turret. Kjarnan walked up, gave it that little extra touch, and that was all she wrote.
And gave him the inhibitor off of that one. So, 15, actually, well, I guess 14,000 gold to lead here. That number is growing. You can see 12 to 6,000 gold in the mid lane. Pretty rough difference there. I mean, you got leads down the line. It's really no surprise that it's far ahead in objectives as well as kills. So it's still Call Nash trying to lick the runes best they can. They had defense working for a while. They had that kidnap on Nami, but unfortunately, there's just enough tools for H2k to engage that life is difficult for GG Call Nash. They can't quite seem to find their way back in. And you got to consider, I mean, it really did scale a lot from the early game. There are a lot of early game kills that H2k can't make the right decisions on.
Yeah, they also got the first blood on their top laner, who was 2v1ing. They got the double buffs on him. Narcus ended up not having double buffs as a very defensive jungler who wants to farm at the start of the game and make some ganks. Not as much as Trashy's Jarvan, but you still want to be in a good position. The fact that the game got out of hand very early and these lanes got edges means it was a very tough situation.
Wow, they took that without Smite even being up for Trashy. It just came back up now. They managed to last hit that one, but that was actually a pretty big risk that Narcus could take them out on this one, but his flash was down and they were safe. H2k now with Baron buff, look to continue the split push. Minions pushing the bottom, Dr. Muda pushing the top, the rest of the team mid.
They would have had to steal that Baron with a bomb of some kind because Narcus did not have flash available. Look at that. He's still trying to force this out. His team
available.
H2k. Just very, very aggressive. Odwamne has his teleport available. Kjarnan, he's caught a little bit.
They might go for the play right there. Flash in. There's the kidnap on Kjarnan. Here they go. Teleport in for Mundo as well. Kjarnan will go down, but the knockup chain comes through. The fight begins. Narcus doing what he can to people. Lickety goes down to Fabivan, and he is just chasing everybody down. Triple kill so far for the Yasuo. Trashy finds a 4th, and this is all the way into the base they go.
And that looks like it's going to be game here. Super minions are coming up to these Nexus turrets. It's only GOB left alive. And the average game time from H2k in Summer Series 1, 32 minutes. 27 minutes right now. And look at that, GOB just running out of the base as fast as he can, trying to stop the super minion wave.
He's saving his fantasy points right there. Half a point saved by not getting picked off. Could get some CS as well for 0.01 each time, but that will almost certainly be the game. Looks like actually Kjarnan's going to chase him down across the map. H2k not happy to close the game out just yet. They want the kills. I have not seen that actually happen yet in competitive.
Really? Okay. Trying to pass.
Oh, he's out.
No, he's teleporting. Oh, nope, it doesn't work.
Oh, the turret died he was teleporting to. He was TPing to a turret that Odwamne killed, I believe.
Wow. 20k gold lead, H2k not ending the game despite being in the situation to do so. They were knocking out the Nexus. They still had a couple of seconds left on everybody on the team.
I'm sorry, I have nothing to say about that.
They are super BM. That's what I'm saying.
All right,
Bevan, he wants more.
Oh, he's going to get one. Oh, he's got the knockup.
Oh, he's going to try to end it.
Oh, good flash. Putting the laugh down, put the wind wall in for Vivian.
Wow.
So you know what? 1v5, let's go. Eats a cupcake just for good measure. 50 gold. The inhibitor just respawned. The Nexus is now invincible right now, but it's already dead.
Bevan got a triple kill in the last fight of the game. That's not enough for him. He has to go end the game solo. His entire team, he's like, no, back off. I got this.
I mean, he was 9-1-5. His team respected him enough to say, you know what, H2K, we realize that you guys played that one really well. You know, Fabivin, you were the carry. You had 100% kill participation for the first, like, 7 or 9 kills of the game. We'll go ahead and let you close the game yourself.
The thing is we're going to show that replay of the Nexus exploding later on at some time in the series. And it's going to look like Fabevin just backdoored the base.
I mean, he kind of did. Everyone responded at that point, basically. Yeah. He just got in there. So, I mean, honestly, a fairly one-sided game. H2K looked great from the very start. Initiated a lane swap, played the lane swap better. They stopped the dragon attempt. It's one of the very few times I've seen that done successfully. And then just found kills in jungle invades. They started the game out like 9-0 in kills. They gave up 3 deaths the entire game. They're just a way stronger team in that game.
Yeah, they looked much stronger. 15k gold on Fabevin. Vince, 7.7. Had double the gold of the other mid laner. 3 more levels. Was just playing him like a fiddle from the start. He 2v1'd, came up with a kill and almost killed Morgana too. It was huge plays there from Fabevin very early on in the game. So it wasn't the fact that he was fed, it's the fact that he was just outplaying around the mana pool of Ziggs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything really just went well. And the tier start for Vince, he was trying. He got the Seeker's Arm Guard afterwards, but he just never scaled up. And any matchup with like both champions being high damage dealers, right? Like maybe like not Muda Renekton, but like Yasuo Ziggs, for example, that gold lead is incredibly big. Like it was a level lead as well at some point, or at the end of the game. Fibivin was up 3 levels as well as this, 7,500 gold lead, and that's kind of how that matchup's going to work. Is you can just push your opponent down, you can push them around, and you just get to pick up kills kind of whenever you want. And I mean that's an earned gold lead. That's Fibivin making that happen, to be completely fair. But I mean at a certain point, it's no longer Vince's fault. And to go 0-3-3 despite that start's actually about the best you can hope for.
Yeah, against Fibevin, who's one of the top challenger players, top 10 for sure on the EU West ladder, coming in on a team that was one of the top teams and took first, dropping only 1 game to Lublin Shore. It's no surprise that happened. Going into game 2, though, got to have a pretty good mentality in terms of bouncing back if you're Call Nash. You have to sit there and think, you know what? They just got us from that jungle invade. We played the dragon wrong. Played the 2v1 wrong. How do we fix it? How do we not do that again? But you have to play to win. You can't play to not lose.
True.
Especially against H2K, who are always going to play to win and just go at you over and over again. Even if they're behind, they're going to try to force something.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing is, and I do like the tenacity of H2K, that they're going to try to make these choices, make these plays, get themselves into this one. I think just the fact that we saw Call Nash hold up reasonably well in the mid game, despite a 10,000 gold lead, is a good sign for them. I think their champions were generally fine. I mean, they were obviously able to turtle with Ziggs and Caitlyn pretty successfully. It's, okay, let's go ahead and not give up 10 kills by 12 minutes, and then that's a good way to start things out. But I think they can fix it. Early games are always tricky. Sometimes random things happen that you don't expect. I think there was a chance for them. It snowballed off of some great early game plays, which I think can be fixed. We're going to see if it can happen, and we got a game coming up. We're going to take a quick break.